my trains run out of track.
The blistering sun has scared even birds into the shade. But a middle-aged woman and a young couple are still collecting scraps of cotton that the machinery missed. With a ragged voice, the older woman calls to you. "Got any water?" The three of them rush over to you, suddenly reanimated. They pass around your canteen. When you get it back, it's empty. The woman squeezes your hand and sighs with relief. "Sweetest thing I ever tasted," she tells you.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. When the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song. Yeah, this will be my tale, my vagrant song.
Sings as he works, his voice warm and soft as the late afternoon sun. The air's sweet with the tang of recently cut sugar cane. There's a practiced, almost soothing precision to the way he works. He looks up and nods hello. "Making molasses," he says to your unasked question. "I sell the blackstripe in town. Farmers use it for feed. Bitter as hell." He grins. "Got some set aside." He comes back with a murky flask, waving off any offer of payment. "I ain't charging. Folks around here need what they can get. Makes a mean loaf of bread." He nods at the barrels. I'm about done filtering. Got to boil it next. Lend a hand? You help him haul the barrels over to the metal boiler. You pour in the juice and set the fire. It's hot work. He fetches water and dark bread, and you share the small meal and a smile. It's good to find another who takes joy in honest labor.
Going down to the river, gonna cleanse my soul. Going down to the river, gonna cleanse my soul. That current gonna take firm hold of me. That water gonna make me whole. Going down to the river, gonna cleanse my soul. Won't heed temptation, I just walk on by. Won't heed temptation, I just walk on by.
The cave is really a man-made hole breaching into an earthen mound. The man, khakis dirtied by kneeling on the rough earth, has assembled a macabre little pile of skulls to the side.
Readying these for sale, friend.
He wipes his hands on his pants.
This pile of skulls, clearly claimed from his enemies by an Indian chieftain, would be perfect for any cabinet of curiosities or sideshow attraction. Why, these skulls belong to no one. They're just here, lying under this mound, waiting for an enterprising soul to make something of them. Isn't this what America's all about?
Little sunlight reaches that deep in, but you can still see the skeletal remains, their heads carelessly removed, laying neatly in their excavated resting places, each one lovingly surrounded by stone effigies, earthenware, and copper plates in the shape of winged warriors. You pause and consider this small man, greedily arranging someone's remains as though they were a trinket for a mantelpiece. It's crude and ridiculous, but he's a crude and ridiculous man. You have him run off the mound, sworn never to tell of what he's seen, for fear of monsters and ghosts. It's a small thing, but a kindness you hope. His smile lights up the room, or rather the cab of the locomotive. Folks gather round as he holds the pull cord. He's a showman through and through.
You'll want to cover your ears now for this next part.
Sure doesn't help much. The engineer pulls that chain and the whistle blasts inside your skull. He just smiles through it all, Man must be half deaf. A round of applause erupts from the small crowd. He passes out bubble gum to the shell-shocked kids, half of them in awe, half in tears.
Remember now who gets you there on the advertised. Casey Jones.
Everyone's all talk as they head back to their seats. That engineer sure is handsome. Gosh, and that whistle sounded just like a whippoorwill, didn't it? Ain't this the way to travel?
I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that ferryman comes for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much to find that can be found. I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my.
You've enjoyed a break on the beach, staring off the edge of the world. But the sun is starting to go down, and the breeze is getting stronger. As you're about to stand, a man plonks down near you. He sits a polite distance off, but looks at you expectantly. He smiles weakly. I just got fired. First Spanish-American radio host in the state, and they fired me. They needed to make cuts, I get that, but I'm twice the... He trails off. I don't know what I'm going to tell my wife. I could try the docks, but there's already more men than jobs, and I could barely support the family on what they pay. He hangs his head. And my boy, I can't bring myself to tell him. I don't know what to do. He calms as the sun drops below the horizon. An expanse of darkness is ahead of you. Turning back to the lights of the city reminds you that the world hasn't gone away. After a long silence, he speaks. It's never going to get better, is it? It takes you a moment to notice his sobbing over the noise of the waves. I've got to tell them, haven't I? I'll go to the port in the morning and see if they'll take me. You can no longer make him out in the dark. but his hand touches your shoulder as he leaves.
I'm gonna scrawl my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that ferryman comes for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much to find that can be found.
You emerge from the underbrush and find yourself at the edge of a field. A farmhouse sits at the other end. Close by, a large family is tending to the plants together. They pause and regard you, almost nervously.
Hello there?
The grandmother asks. The family is almost too nice to you. When you ask for water, they don't even let you walk to the pump by the house. A child runs back to the shed for a folding chair, and they serve you lemonade in a glass among the lettuce heads. Halfway through your glass, you notice someone moving furtively down by the house. The cuffs of his white shirt are stained red. The father sees your look and shifts to block your view. His eyes are bright, and his teeth are bared in something like worry.
How do you like your lemonade?
His wife arrives with a bag full of sandwiches for you, and the whole family ushers you back into the woods, waving, wishing you well. You take one look back over your shoulder. The man by the wall is gone.
And by, I'll see them far and long.
We need a sixth.
She told you, beckoning from the steps of a great dark mansion. And just like that, you found yourself sitting with strangers around a velvet-draped table. Her voice is reedy and high, modulated by the tight collar of her Victorian dress.
Join hands, everyone.
Your host keeps her eyes closed as she beseeches the spirits of the dead. But everyone else around the table lets one lingering, awkward glance bounce around between them. You sense they're just about done humoring her when it happens. A deep, nasty thump beneath the table. The whole table starts to shake, threatening to lift right off the ground. And then, the staid candle flames start flickering like mad, casting ghastly shadows on the walls. And then, a viciously cold wind cuts through the parlor like sharpened ice. The damned candles are dancing in midair around you now, singeing a hair here and there off the coiffed heads of these well-heeled guests. You notice your host across the table has her eyes open wider than they should go, a rivulet of blood dripping from her nose. When you come to your senses, sunrise has begun to creep in. The parlor is empty but for you and the woman in the old-fashioned dress, who slumped dejectedly over the table.
He didn't show up. All that sound and fury, and no sign of his spirit.
'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, won't be no one else.
You look good, honey. You got a light? You like a good story? I like to hear about people and make bets with them. I like to hear about the weird, handsome people. Get convinced by the rich jackasses who'll play blackjack and lose into the night. Dames who are lit cigarettes burning to the end. I want to be around furious people who use me and I use them. Are you one, stranger? Come close to me. Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies? Well, well, they should let you make the movies, honey. A long time ago, I left that little hole I grew up in and started to make my home wherever I was. I don't regret it. I took a pack of cards and hopped on a cargo train, and when it stopped by someone interesting, I'd let them take me to where the law can't see. And you know what's home in this here country? People. No one loves harder and tries harder than these countrymen. And at night when the grasshopper's squeaking, I think they singing something patriotic about trying luck and failing and trying again. Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies? Quit it, stranger. That sweet nonsense will kill me young, faster than the drinking do. Life is real complicated, and the only person I really have faith in is myself. As much as you're good looking, I can't trust you, you know? I get close to you and suddenly I lose a part of myself in there and you can take it away from me. And you got that glint, friend. I see. A boy told me a bunch of sad story lies today and I saw right through him. You bring any true ones to tell? Whew. Oh, honey. That broke me up good. I thought about starting one once. Maybe just a one-night stand with one of the handsome ones, you know. One of the ones that wins or buys the brandy or who tells you could come straight out of that hopper painting, and they are so gentlemanly like that. And I could just never tell them what happened to my belly and have my own family. Me and my little one, and we'd gamble together and stake the world. Got any stories with ghosts or murderers or blood or something like that? Just what I asked for. That spooky stuff gets my heart going like a good hand sometimes do. I remember my stepdaddy. He had a soft touch for me. A handsome, low-voiced man. Mom never did trust me around him. He taught me how to grift. All you need is that light touch, he said, and look them in the eyes and tell them the truth they want. And you know, I always was good at that after. I know what it's like to have those eyes turn towards you and make you feel like everything. And then to be in the cold and dark when they turn away. Hey, got any exciting stories? Sounds like you're trying to sell me something with a sad tale. If you want to do that, honey, you gotta make it seem real. 16 days ago, I come across a girl by the side of the road. She had her smoke all bent out of shape in her mouth, and she had a bundle like I used to by her little brown boots. She caught my eye just for a little second. And though I ain't got no feeling from her, I smiled to myself because you bet a lot on leaving the protection of the known, especially when you're body our shape. But choosing your challenges, that's freedom. And she knew it, I think. Next time, let's up the stakes, shall we? Why don't we spend some time with bourbon and 5-card stud? You bring the bourbon, of course. And when the moon's fuller, I might let you in on some secrets on life. Have you any?